Hey, my name's Alia. I'm 23, and I used to spend, honestly, almost every waking moment staring at my phone. Not just casually scrolling TikTok or checking DMs. I'm talking full-blown, can't stop, won't stop, 7-hour scroll holes. They call it doomscrolling. And at first, I thought it was just a habit. But after a while, I realized it was something else. It was an escape. It was an addiction. It was making me anxious, tired, numb, and honestly, kind of miserable. If you've ever caught yourself scrolling endlessly, even when it doesn't feel good anymore, this story is for you. Because I want to tell you how I got here, how it nearly wrecked my mental health, and how I'm slowly taking my life back.
So I've always been online. I'm part of that generation that had an iPad before they had opinions.
Middle school was Instagram filters and what's your aesthetic? High school was Snapchat streaks and checking who viewed your story.
But when the pandemic hit during college, everything went really online. School, friends, news, entertainment, distractions, all of it. It was normal to spend 10 plus hours a day on your phone. And I did.
It started innocently, scrolling through TikTok late at night. I'd watch funny skits, productivity tips, book talk. Then I got pulled into the deeper side, true crime, climate disasters, political rants, war footage, breakups, breakdowns, and I didn't stop because I couldn't. At first, it just felt like staying informed, like being aware. But the more I scrolled, the worse I felt. I'd wake up tired because I was up until 3 a.m. on my phone. I was anxious before I even got out of bed, and I felt guilty when I wasn't doing anything productively, so I'd scroll more. A loop. I started noticing things like comparing myself constantly to influencers, to strangers, to perfect morning routines. Feeling like the world was ending, every day some new crisis. Numbness. Like I'd seen so much sadness and chaos, I didn't feel it anymore. And worst of all, I stopped feeling present in my real life. I'd be out with friends, but I was thinking about a video I saw. Eating dinner, but scrolling between bites. Even during class, I'd tell myself just 2 minutes and 10 minutes would disappear. It wasn't just a distraction anymore. It was a coping mechanism, but what was I coping with? Honestly, loneliness, stress, fear, that feeling that everyone has their life together except you. There wasn't one big wake-up call, no dramatic breakdown or intervention. Just this one night, I'd been scrolling TikTok for 4 hours. I came across this video of a girl crying, talking about how overwhelmed she was by everything, and I just cried too, not because of her story, but because I realized I felt the same way, and I didn't even know why anymore. I looked at my screen time the next morning, 14 hours, F-O-14. That's when I knew something had to change. Before I could stop, I had to understand why I was doom scrolling in the first place. Turns out, our brains love novelty.
Social media gives us dopamine tiny hits of pleasure with every swipe.
But when you scroll through emotionally heavy content, it also triggers your stress response, and weirdly, that can become addicting too. It's like your brain is scanning for danger and can't stop looking. Plus, the algorithm is designed to keep you watching. It doesn't care if the content makes you anxious, sad, or numb, really, as long as you're still there. Once I realized it wasn't just a willpower issue, that there were actual brain mechanics at play, I felt less guilty and more motivated to take back control. This is still a journey. But here's what's been working for me. I disabled infinite scroll. I use an app blocker that literally stops TikTok and Instagram after a certain amount of time, and I also disabled autoplay features where I could. I started using my phone with intention. Before I open an app, I ask, why am I opening this? Is it boredom, loneliness, avoidance? Just asking that question slows me down. Sometimes I open it anyway, but I'm aware. That's step 1. I replaced the scroll with something grounding. Instead of scrolling before bed, I started journaling, just for 5 minutes.
Reading or calling a friend, tiny changes, not perfection, just redirection.
I made my phone boring. Grayscale mode, no notifications, no apps on the home screen. Sometimes I scroll because I'm avoiding stuff, like loneliness, anxiety, or imposter syndrome.
It's therapy. I started naming my feelings. Instead of numbing, I started noticing. It's hard, but it's real. And real life, even when it's messy, feels better than living through a screen.
What I've learned and what I'd tell anyone struggling. I still use social media. I still love TikTok dances and cat videos and vloggers with perfect skin.
But I'm learning that I don't have to consume everything. I can log off. I can miss things.
The world will keep spinning. And when I put my phone down and go for a walk, when I have a real conversation without checking notifications,
When I feel my own thoughts again, that's when I remember I'm not a robot, I'm a person, and I deserve to live in the moment.
so if you're in that place, if your thumbs know the scroll pattern better than they know peace, you're not broken. You're human and you're not alone. Get curious. Choose real life even when it feels quieter. Because sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is just look up. Thanks for listening to my story. And if you're working on this too and drop a comment. Let's work through this together.